Myself Namrata, welcome back to Namrata's tutorials. I hope you're fine and safe at your home and doing well. As I say, stay home, be safe, but don't stop learning. So be tuned with Namrata's tutorials and keep learning. Firstly, I would like to thank you for love and support to my first video on herd immunity. If you have missed it, you find the link in my description. Now coming to what we are going to understand today. These days, you are coming across many terms related to COVID-19. One such term which we are going to understand is the strategy to deal with COVID-19. If you like the video, do subscribe to my channel Namrata's Tutorials and hit the bell icon to receive any further updates.
So, as you can see, I have put some images which indicate various strategies to deal with any epidemic or pandemic. To be specific for now, we all are facing the pandemic caused due to coronavirus. In our today's video, we would be learning one such strategy to overcome this pandemic of COVID-19. We would be learning about certain facts and practicalities of convalescent plasma therapy, a term which is commonly heard these days. Starting from the basic of what plasma is. In a normal human individual, we have approximately 5 liters volume of blood on an average. There are many different components of blood which are present. The first type of cell which is present is erythrocytes or RBCs, which are our oxygen carriers. The second type of blood cell present is white blood cells, which act as defense cells for our body. And there are other type of cells such as blood platelets too. The third most important part is the fluid part, which is called as plasma. In our today's video, we would be more focusing on the blood plasma. We can collect human blood through vein puncture method and further subject it to centrifugation. Centrifugation is a technique which separates particles of varying size and mass on the basis of their sedimentation rate. The speed which we use for centrifugation of blood is on an average of 3500 to 5000 rpm for about 15 minutes or half an hour. So which individual components get separated after centrifugation? Blood basically gets centrifuged into two major parts, that is 55% of plasma and 45% of formed elements. Among the formed elements, we can see it consists of platelets, leukocytes and erythrocytes. Now, the 55% of plasma itself consists of 92% of water, some important proteins such as albumin and other solid molecules. How is plasma of significance to us? We all know there are different types of microbes which are present in and around us. Some of them are pathogens to human body. So which part of the microbe is important for inducing the infection or disease state? Let us take the example of coronavirus. This is how the structure of coronavirus looks like. The pink part, which is just a diagrammatic representation, shows the important part which is called as an antigen. So what is an antigen? To be specific, in immunology, an antigen is a molecule or molecular structure present at the outer surface of the pathogen. These antigens trigger an immune response. In case of coronavirus, it is the spike protein present on the outer surface that plays a significant role. So each pathogen has different antigenic proteins that induce immune response. How does our body fights back against these pathogens? The most important defense system of our body is the immune cells, which help us to fight against the diseases. Some of these cells are like macrophages, dendritic cells, B cells, etc. One of the most specific pathway which our body relies on to fight against pathogen is through adaptive immune system, also called as humoral immunity. So, B cells or B lymphocytes play a very crucial role in the adaptive immunity. To be very specific, once the pathogens enter our body, its antigens are recognized and they bind to B cell surface. It stimulates the B cells to divide and mature into a group of identical cells called as a clone. The mature B cells, commonly known as plasma cells, secrete millions of antibodies into bloodstream. As antibodies circulate, they attack and neutralize antigens. Antibodies attack antigen by binding to them. Very important fact is antibodies remain in circulation for several months, providing extended immunity against that particular pathogen. So, these are the basic terminologies which we need to know or understand for our immune system. What is meant by convalescent? In basic definition, convalescent is the stage when an ill person is recovering from an illness or medical treatment. What is meant by convalescent blood products? As we saw, blood itself is made up of different components. As the person recovers from an infection, we can collect the whole blood or the plasma from the patient who has survived a previous infection. This source of plasma is called convalescent plasma and has a significant role of immunity as it is a source of ready-made antibodies. These are of importance as the antibodies are going to be of human origin. There are different convalescent blood products that have been obtained to achieve artificially acquired passive immunity. As you can see, the first which has been highlighted is convalescent whole blood or convalescent plasma. We won't be discussing about the remaining types of convalescent blood products that can be obtained. So coming to what exactly is convalescent plasma therapy. So there are many queries with respect to convalescent plasma therapy. How exactly it can be done and who is eligible to be the donor. The other concern is also where and when this process can be done. So let's understand the process of convalescent plasma therapy. First, we need to identify the donor who will be eligible to donate the blood plasma. A donor can donate his or her plasma up to twice a week with a minimum cap of 48 hours and a maximum of 24 times in a year. A special medical technology called apheresis is used to draw blood from the patient, separate the plasma out and return rest of the blood back into the body. The plasma thus obtained can be stored in blood bank. Studies have shown that the plasma from one individual can be used to treat two patients. Different compatibility test needs to be done before transfusion of plasma is done to the patient. The very basic being ABO blood grouping. Convalescent plasma contains neutralizing bodies for the given infection. This can be infused into the current patient to allow the formation of neutralizing bodies and fight back the infection. So for COVID-19, the same therapy is being utilized and is in clinical trials to understand is convalescent plasma going to act as a very important therapy. 1 to 2 units of plasma infusion include 200 to 250 ml of the plasma. Speaking about the evidence or history about the use of CPT, there are few examples which I would like to give. It was in 1890 when physiologists von Behring and Kitasato first used blood serum or plasma to treat diphtheria. Initially, it was produced from immunized animals, but soon whole blood or serum from recovered donors with specific humoral immunity were identified as source of antibodies of human origin. Studies conducted during Spanish influenza pandemic of 1918 to 1920 suggested that the use of CBP might be effective, and for first time convalescent plasma was identified as a potential therapy for a number of viral infections. In the following decades, possible therapeutic efficacy was claimed for management of Argentine hemorrhagic fever, MERS-CoV, H1N1, H5N5, and recently to document for Ebola. Understanding the process of CPT, what is very important is the regulation which we need to follow in doing the procedure. Different regulatory bodies play a vital role in framing the guidelines. As stated by FDA on May 1, 2020, The document provides recommendations to healthcare providers and investigators on administration and study of investigational convalescent plasma during the public health emergency. It briefs about some of the points which can be covered and how exactly the procedure can be done. The details for the guidelines has been put as a link in the description box for your further reference. Very importantly is that the donor should be free of the disease or any symptoms for at least 28 days or must have tested negative for the virus for at least 14 days before the plasma can be used. People between the age of 18 to 60 can be donors, and on an average, 200 to 400 ml of convalescent plasma can be transplanted to selected patients. It is good to know that for our current pandemic of coronavirus, different clinical trials are in progress with respect to studying efficacy, safety, and many more aspects of CPT. The link for these clinical trials are been given in the description box.
Hope you have understood the gist of convalescent plasma therapy and the significance of convalescent plasma therapy for this pandemic. Hoping for the best results to come out to use the convalescent plasma therapy for the treatment of COVID-19. For any queries related to the topic, do mention in the comment section and also let me know the topics you would like to hear from me in future. Once again, thank you for your love and support to my channel Namrata's Tutorials. Like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel Namrata's Tutorials and hit the bell icon. Stay home, be safe and keep learning through Namrata's Tutorials.